get a knife. You just get damage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get cracking. Go down, boys. Get stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get cracking. Go down, boys. Get stuck in, boys.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. Hope you're all doing well. I am Laz, obviously the slightly odd person who sits here in front of the camera and does this for therapy. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you are all doing well. I do have the chat up ready for the portrait mode. Obviously, normal chat's up as it should be. Let's move these out of the way. Don't need these at the... well, I'll need them eventually. Hey up, buzzers. How you doing, mate? I've seen you for a couple of streams. Hope you're doing well. Move them out of the way for the time being. Now, I do have lots of stuff on my desk because I'm still trying to work through the rest of the band for the art guys and the art band. I found what I'm going to use as essentially drums, which in this case is going to be wheels. I'm going to use them as drums. Icon, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. But along with the drums for tonight, I need to build the guitarist. And I'm not sure how to build this guitarist because I do want him to have the axe that comes with the Oryx. And I also want him to have a great big long shaft with guns and stuff on it. So he's not too dissimilar to the bassist. Yeah, that's supposed to be a bass guitar in case someone's wondering. It's like, no, it's not a bass guitar. He's got an handle on it and all sorts. It's an orc bass guitar. So shall we get started on the guitarist? Well, first of all, we need a body for him, don't we? So I need to go find where the bodies were again. I can't remember where they are. There they are. So orc brutes. And they have bodies and heads and all sorts of other things. Now we've already used at least two of them because obviously we've got the drummer with his squig kick and the bassist, which we've already used. So we've used two. I just can't remember which two. And one of the ones we used is the one that can be a peg leg. So we've already used 14 and 15 because that's the one that can be a peg leg. That's the bassist. So which one's this one? We've got 29. So we've got 29 and 28 left still. So we can definitely do that one. I'm tempted to give one, essentially if I can't make it a big mech thing like this, then ideally I want to use this sword, but with the big power claw instead of the hand. And then cut this off and put the actual axe head on there. That's my other option. So we shall see. We shall see. Good evening, Twisted. Good evening. How are you feeling, mate? I hope you're feeling alright. Because it has been a while since you've popped up, so I do hope you're feeling good. Right, I think we're going to take the body off this one just because it's all nice and neat and together. So 29 and 28 are there. We need 32, which is there, and we need a 30, which is not on this sprue. Right, okay, I can deal with that. Why have I got a feeling I'm missing an entire sprue? Because I am. I'm missing this sprue, which might have 30 on it. It should have 30 on it. Oh, because there's 20, but there's lots of other weird random ones on here. So some low numbers, some mid numbers, and some high numbers. I don't see 30 on there anywhere. can see 33 on this one. 34, 31. I don't see anything lower than 31 though. So where's his crotch cloth? That's 60 up there. All the bodies that we're gonna need, the heads, arms, claws. So 30's got to be on this one then. It does say 30, yeah. And he's got a bit of a chainmail bit on the bottom. It helps if you find all your bits first, it does. D2, hello? Hello? No, I'm not saying that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do requests, but usually they have to be something relevant. Or at least send me off on a tangent. If you can send me off on a tangent, that's a different matter entirely. But I usually don't do random words. Because usually someone's trying to get me to say a random word for a specific reason, and it's usually not a good reason. So I tend not to anymore. Sorry, D2. Blame everyone else who spoiled it for you. I can't find this bleeding thing though. Where's that? Will 60 work? 60 looks very similar. I should imagine 60 will still... Any of the crotch cloths should still work, shouldn't they? I hope. I hope. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, Milliput's a pain to cure. Milliput is an absolute nightmare to cure. That's why I use that little... The last of my little resin thingies for the squig drum. I used that last time because it was just easier to use. So while I'm clipping this out and knocking my camera, because I'm an idiot like that, let's move it back out a bit, shall we? Let's see if we can actually get it somewhere where it's relatively good to see what I'm doing. And there we go, two halves of the body. And it is 1C that we're doing, so it's this one. So dry fit first, just to check that it will go together like I want it to, which is just like that. Yep, it will. It'll all go together. The junk flap, crotch cloth, dick drop, whatever you want to call it, it covers up that bit. Todger tabard. As long as it's an accurate description of the area that it's going to be going into and what it does. Okay, so that's... Now it says I've got to use 30 now, but I don't know where 30 is. So I'm going to look for where I found 60 a minute ago, because that one looked good. There we go. So I'm going to use 60 instead, just because I can. So I'm going to use that one. This should go nicely into this section. Should go nicely into this section. It is, there we, no, it's not going, it's not going. Where are you going? What's getting in the way? Something's certainly getting in the way. So no, they don't all fit in the same spot. So I might have to find number 30 or go find the body that goes with 60. because for some reason that is not fitting into that section. Okay, so 60 is not right. I have to have 30. And the first thing I do when I pick it up is find 30. See that there? Oh dear God. Oh dear God. You've been painting the Fantasia Warlock. Is that what you now call him since I've put the Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusions idea in your head? It does though. I just look at that and I see Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because you've got stars and the blending of colours that you've put over him. But still, it's that Warlock just reminds me of Mickey Mouse and the Castle of Illusion. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. So that actually does go on a bit better, and he ends up with a crotch cloth. Fair enough. Yep. Ali's already got that. We don't tolerate spamming. We don't tolerate idiots. I'm the only idiot that's allowed on here, and that's because I'm on the camera. If you too wish to be on a camera, then by all means, start up a YouTube channel. And you can be the idiot behind the camera. It's not as easy as it looks. So you've got it in your head now. It's like you can't unsee it now that I've pointed it out. But you've got to be familiar with the Castle of Illusion or Fantasia in the first place to understand. It's like, no, that looks like the Sorcerer's Hat. Oh, you son of a... you did, didn't you? You pointed that out, and now it does look like the Sorcerer's Hat. You son of a... I know what you're thinking. I know what you're calling me. And there's quite a few names that you're calling me, I should imagine, at this point. just for that. So the knife that goes on him goes facing backwards. And this is to fill his side up in here. Now I'm hoping this doesn't get in the way of arms or guitars. It shouldn't do because it's quite slung back. I could always trim the handle down if necessary, but he's got a chopper. He's got a chopper. Now he has to have this piece which should go on there. And that'll be the main body of the actual arc done. Just got to find the fronts and his head, and then I can do arms and things. So there we go. That's the main body. Now we've got to go decide what we're doing about his arms and his front and his other stuff. Now there's lots of different selections for arms and fronts and other things. Most of them require two pieces to go together. I see, there you go, because you've seen it so much as a kid, you know the colour schemes. And you didn't even realise you was doing them. See, that says 74. Now, 74 is Derpy Man, I think. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, 74 is Derpy Man. I don't want to use Derpy Man. I want to use something else. So I'm going to click out. I'm going to clip out 85 and put a different head on him. Just because I don't want Derpy Face to be the guitarist. I want them to try and look as cool as possible, not dopey. Or derpy, or however I wish to say it each individual time that I come to say it. Either way, you get the idea. He's not the most intelligent, even as far as arcs go. Or he certainly doesn't look it anyway. So, torso and neck, and then we put a face on him. And I did not dry fit this first, cause I am an idiot. And now I'm struggling to get it in. Ooh. See, no, it's just not good because I can't grip it properly because of the glue. I was struggling getting that. There we go. We've got his fake nipples and his head. Now I would like a 40k ARC head if I could. But going off this, I'm not really going to get one. So I'm going to go with the one where he's got his mouth open. So, no, I'm going to go with, oh. Yeah, I'll go with the mouth open one. It can be backup vocals as well as guitarist. Hello, Tass. How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome in. We're just clipping bits out of ARC stuff at the minute. And then trying our best to glue it on without messing it up. Unlike what I did with the... Yeah, there we go. So a nice screamy, shouty, arky face. A few... Twisted, you've got that many skulls on your stuff. It is unreal, mate. It's unreal. It's getting to the point where it's pretty goddamn scary. Okay, so now we need to look at how am I going to build his guitar. Oh no, I've got to build him up. What is it? 46 and 47 first. And does he get shoulder pads as well eventually? Yes, he does. But I've got to do 46 and 47 first, which is 2 parts of the bit that goes around the front of him. Just got to find out which bloody sprue it's on. Is it on this one? No, I've got 34, 33 and 34. That doesn't appear to have any of them on it. So there's none on there. They are some hulking brutes, aren't they? You know when they go, whoa, they mean it. Have I used it for another one by mistake? .46 and 47. Yeah, I've already used it for another one by mistake. Okay, so let's go with 5 and 6, and hopefully they work. Do we go for 5 and 6, or do we go for another one? Are there any? Well, of course there should be other ones. We're going to go for 33 and 34. 33 and 34. Just so I'm not using too much of one of different sprues. I can just use mostly of one sprues. Yeah, they are big uns. Proper big uns. Oh, Twisted, that means you didn't hear the song at the start, did you? Pting. There goes that one. I've got between me and Almuth, we've made a song, Twisted. And anyone else who's paying, if you know who Almuth is, then awesome. If you don't, then you'll find out eventually. It occasionally pops in. But me and Almuth put our heads together, one of us with an archy voice and one of us with music capabilities. And we made an ARC song. I quite like it. Did play at the start of the stream, just for those who, in case you came in a bit late. If you want to go, right, stream's finished now, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. I'm gonna listen to that song. Then please do, because I think it works well better than it should do. Good evening, Francois. Good evening. I've still not fully decided if I'm going to do Whip Wednesdays yet. But it's still definitely available as a project. Now then, I need arms. Well, part of me does want to use this big whopping blade here. So that means I need a right arm for him that's going to hold said blade, which hopefully 49 will do. And then I want to chop the great big whopping blade out. Pardon me, I'm sorry. That was, yeah, I do apologise. That wasn't supposed to happen. I took precautions to try and not make it happen. Right, so now that's glued. We want to glue the bits that are like inverted nipples, because they're going to go in the, no, they're sticky out nipples, and they're going to go in the inverted nipples in here. And that just makes him a little bit bulkier and bigger, with a few extra spikes around the front of his face. And then this arm has to go on and then be able to hold that big axe. Well, I'm going to have to do some chopping down here, because I'm gonna have an axe head. Where's it gone? Where's my axe head gone? I mean, look at that axe head. Look at that axe head. It's just screaming guitar to me. It is. But as you can see, it is also a right arm. So I can't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the actual axe head off. And that's going to go down here once I've cleaned it up a bit, because it's very narrow is that one. So I'm just going to have to shave it a bit to get it flat again. And then if I take off that handle, and that's how you can end up playing it with the claw. Nope, that definitely needs shaving down a lot more, doesn't it? Or at least filing, if I can find a file. There's be a file with lots of metal pins, because I've got lots of metal pins all over my desk. Yep, pretty much. You have found my inspiration, Twisted. You have found my inspiration. So I'm just gonna. You have a nice night, Ali. Thank you for popping in. You have a nice good sleep, because you've been working hard this week. And you've still got another day to go, so you make sure you get that nice rest. So pop a little bit of glue on here. And then we can have the axe head attached. And while that's drying, or that's supposed to be drying, I can glue his arm on. wherever I've managed to lose that. It's that one. Right. So a bit of glue where his arm's going to go. And then glue his arm in place. I said glue his arm in place, not fall off. Please. Stay there. Well, it's GuitWAAGGH, what do you expect? GuitWAAGGH are the aliens that have come to Earth to do lots of silly things, including play heavy metal rock music. That's just one of the things they're here to do. They're here to do many, many things. See, I may have to trim this spike off to make room for the actual guitar itself. I'm not sure if the arm's going to fit in. But it's certainly not sticking where I want it to go, is it? I mean, I can see he's got a good connection there at the back, but it's just not. It's just not going. Right, let you dry. While we start looking at the other arm, which is the claw arm. So that's grabbing this one out. But it's got extra bits that go with the claw, so I'm not sure where they are. I will find them, but I'm just not sure where they are at the moment. But obviously this is going to be the hand that he plays the guitar with. Now again, full arc logic. Why does it need power? I believe it works, so therefore it works. Now on this, on one of these sides, it should tell me how I put the claw together, I hope. I don't see, oh there it is. So 80 and 81. So I've already clipped out 81, so I need to find 80. Which is there. That one right there. So I'm just going to snip it out. It's easier to do it right in front of me rather than on camera. That's why I showed you where it is on the camera first. And then you can see from there. So this gets glued along the back of his hand. And then that, it's got a little like sliver of an 8 thing there, if you can see it. Good evening, Lee. Good evening. I hope you've had a good week, mate. I know you've had some post runs and stuff. Nice new stuff for your layout. And now let's see if I can actually get this hand. See, the arm's falling off again. Oh, I don't like this. That arm is just not for staying. Where I want it to go. Which is right there. It needs to stay there. Stay there. Then I can glue his hand on, see? A little bit of glue on his wrist. And hopefully this works. Hopefully this works. Come on, fit. Fit. This is a problem with certain degrees of kit bashing. Not everything goes exactly where you want it to go. And then this, I need to go. Oh, I need this to go over the guitar. So really, I should have put this on first, shouldn't I? Right. Put his big claw arm on first, and then I've got more room to glue stuff to the actual guitar to make it work. So we can have a nice claw arm. Solid state, no parts, all metal. That is a good start for a model that twisted. That is a good start. No messing around, no having parts to glue on. Just all ready and working. Okay, so let's hope that stays on there now. Nope, it's already moved. Right, just as I thought, I'm going to have to clip a little bit off his actual dagger here. Just to make sure his arm fits in where I need it to go. Because that is right on the edge of the hilt for the dagger now. Ooh, this is fun. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to give it another replay for those of you who haven't heard the song. That will one day hopefully actually come through the Bluetooth speakers if I finally figure out what's going wrong with the Bluetooth speakers, because it's all done, it's just not working. Let's have a bit of an orc song.
Always ready to fight and win. Great is always the best. That's dead or not. You just get damaged. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get cracking. Go down, boys. Get stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get cracking. Go down, boys. Get stuck in, boys.
So yeah, that's the song. I really like that song. Maybe a bit too much. Can I like it too much? I don't think I can. Right, where else it connects? So we'll pop a little bit of glue in there, and then a bit more down there just to help. And then hold it on. Is there anywhere else it can touch? Just so I can give it nice strong bonds. So it goes back to his knee there. So if we can get anything just to help it. And then we end up with a lead guitarist. Now what kind of non-oric stuff can I put on? I need to put something on just to make it more 40k orky. Dropping stuff, that's not good. That's still not bonded right. Oh dear. That's not good. I can at least glue him down. That's what I can do. I can get him actually on the bass. And then I can work from there. Because I need him quite far back. There we go. Now while I wait for him to dry, you want to glue the drums on. So this has got a nice little blobby bit there. They should slot quite nicely into. It's not going to be perfect, but it's arcs, so it's never going to be perfect. So plenty of glue around the underside because it's got to go on a bit of an odd angle. And then we've got a drum kit. So now we have an arc drummer. Evil Sons medallion. Have I got anything Evil Sons? I don't think I actually have Evil Sons specific parts. I probably have. I just don't know where they are. I do need another shoulder pad for him though. Just to hopefully help keep that arm in. So I'm going to take shoulder pad 55, which is way too high of a number for an arc. Thank you, Gregory. Sorry, I've got the headphones on and my voice distracts me. So I can say Gregory. It's just not while I'm listening to myself. Oh, wrong way around. There we go. So, the second shoulder pad. Just to help keep that arm in place. And now we have... Yeah. He's looking to rock out, isn't he? Now, I'm tempted to put a chain blade on. Just for the noise. Of course. Now, I do have some plastic bits that I've scraped off, and hopefully that can add to the join between the axe head and the big blade. That's what I needed to do. Where's his shoulder pad just dropped off to? There it is. Get it the right way round, Laz. Get it the right way round. Does bloody help. is there anything else that I can think of to make it more 40k looking? Take them off, they're distracting me. I remembered one thing that I need. And it's got to go on this, so I've got to clip the handle off and it's got to go on top there. But that's going to be too... You can't have symbols. I can't do my Wally head, it's too much. See, that's an Auroch. So it's an AOS claw arm as opposed to a... It's not even a Beast Snagger claw arm. So his actual hand... He's actually got a hand underneath it that's kind of holding a dagger. And then it's just a big slab of beat metal over the top. Which, it works. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, something tells me that combustible things such as pipes and flamer components will be welcome on this one. So I'm going to put a couple of flamer canisters on his back. Just to help bulk him out a little bit over the others as well. Because some of them have got some real bulky bits on them. I'm not going to lie. Some have some ridiculous bulky bits. Like the size of that bass, for instance. That's just huge. That is massive. Compared to the guitarist, the bass player is playing a much bigger guitar. Any other fun little bits that I can put on them? Oh, I got that sprue that I can't use, didn't I? You know, the one that I've now stopped collecting Combat Patrol because they keep missing bloody issues. Then I've got more bits to put on him. Should I wish. It's just finding the correct place for it to go. If I can find a piece good enough. We need lots of bombs and missiles and things. So we can clip them out and have them along the guitar. Because it needs to go boom. It needs to go boom. So I'm just going to clip that bit off. And then a small bead of glue along there. And then some along the back here. Got some rockets ready. I'm going to get some more rockets and put them on the other sides and other places. Big bullets. Large shells. Those type of things. So he's more of a, I'm going to pick this up and throw it at you rather than fire it. Because I can just bash you with the guitar afterwards. I suppose it'll be the equivalent of a huge chopper for a war boss. Now I'm going to put the glue down the Aquila symbol. Just because I don't want the Aquila symbol on there. probably get away with these as mega rubber knobs, really, couldn't I? Again, gluing the Aquila symbol down because that's the bit that I don't want up and showing. And now he's a little bit more 40k, having rockets and things strapped to him. Might put a bit more around his back, because obviously the bass player has a full-on mech head. I do need to look at something to go on him though as well, don't I? I do need something to go on the lead singer. I don't have much on there in the way of stuff to go on the lead singer. But that doesn't mean I don't have anything. I do have bits of other things, such as 2 Dakka guns from an orc biker, some nice Eldar weapons, I mean, if that, no, that doesn't fit over his back, does it? No, so that's no good. I do need to put his actual microphone on, and I'm wondering if I can make a stand for it, or do we just go for something like this? Obviously having it hold it upside down, because he's never going to get it the right way around. Or do I go for my original idea, which is the big whopping club, which is still going to go upside down? So, ooh, see, there's some nice bits to go on the guitar. Ah, is that going to make that guitar too big if I glue that to that side of it? I think that is, isn't it? But if we can just get a few components off it, such as this one. It does leave me some nice bits though. I might have to think about putting them somewhere else. But for now, this bit gets to go on the back side of it just to help. Again, 40k up a bit as opposed to make it an AOS. You can't get a rock band with electric guitars in Age of Sigmar, or fantasy for that matter, because they don't have electricity. I mean, these orcs aren't using electricity either, they're using the pure power of the GuitWAAGGH, but they're doing it under the understanding of it needs power. So a nice big power thing to help power the guitar. Yeah, that makes his guitar nice. That's all 4 band members. So move him back there, because the drummers always go at the back. Drummers always go at the back. Bum bum ba-da-dum. Bum 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 bum. Oh, I could make that the mic stand, couldn't I? No, I'm going to make that the mic stand. So then it's a wireless mic. Wherever I have put my snippers. There they are. So I'm going to clip this section off here, and then that's going to clip onto the bottom of his hand to make, well, glue onto the bottom of his hand to make the mic stand. Yeah, fire it across the room. That's how you do it. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, more little pins. I've got loads of little needles essentially stacked around my desk because of doing the electronics, which I'm still not happy about. But I do have a voltage meter now, so I can test where I think's gone wrong. I've got a rough idea where some of it has, because when I was trying it earlier, I managed to get some lights coming through. But then when I moved it a little bit more, the lights stopped. So I think that connection needs redoing. Which should be just 2 connections, I think. I don't intend to be setting anything up like that for tonight though, because it takes a while to set up and get going. And let's face it, troubleshooting on electronics is not easy, especially when you don't actually know what you're doing. So it has some kind of microphone now. And part of me does want to connect these up, coming out of his back. Because what, honest to God, what, or honest to God, should I say, or Mark, either one. But no arc would be caught without a decent amount of DACA, would he? Let's face it. Would I be better gluing these two to actually gluing them together? And then putting them as a single piece over his back, just to give him more. Orcs don't do subtlety, do they? It's all or nothing. Blast guns are blazing, lots of noise. Daka daka daka. Everything gets blown up. Hurrah! Orcs is happy. Oh, you've got to have a good chopper. A good chopper. But he's got a big spiky thing, so I'll let him off with the good chopper if he's got enough DACA. If he's got enough DACA, he'll get away with it. Because he can always use his microphone as his chopper. Well, let's get those two DACA cannons lined up and all glued up together. And then I may actually, oh no, that might work. Let's see if putting glue along there and then popping it into that section will actually work. Just to get it in there. Holding it in place because it's not melting because there's paint. There's paint that didn't come off with the biostrip. So what I have to do is get a bit of a scrapey blade and attack it with that. Oh, the joys of the hobby. scraping away layers of stained plastic because it's covered in paint and it ain't bonding. So I need to make sure I've got through to pure plastic, and this time I'm going to put it on the actual back there as well, and now fit that in. I should hopefully join up now. So he has got a he did have a relatively large amount of DACA on his back, which was nice. Got a feeling that may take some extra bits to actually get it to hold right. Right. Spot of glue in there, for instance, just to help the bond. Just to help the bond. And as far as a chopper goes, do I have any choppers? Well, I know I have choppers. That's not a question of whether or not I have choppers. Do I have a chopper that would suffice? Because I have a chopper for his left hand, not his right hand. At the moment, ready, available, straight where I need it. I do not have a chopper to hand for the correct side. I would like to use obviously something a little bit more techno-y, like that. But that does mean I've got to chop his hand off. And see if I can get it in there somehow. Nope, that's not working. It's going to need a longer chopper. A longer chopper. Do I have a longer chopper to hand on my desk? But no, it's an L-bar thing. That's an assault cannon. I thought I had a yellow. That's a big spring. Yes, I do have lots of random things scattered around my desk for various different reasons. I don't have anything that's going to go in an open hand. It is always good to have a bottle of skulls on hand, can't deny that. What have I got on? What have we got on here? Should have essentially something like this, but with only one hand attached. Let's see if I can find that. They're Imperial Guard sprues. Wrong hand. No, that's the right hand. So I can actually put a right big old chopper on him if I wish to. That would mean I need to remove this here hand. But that there hand has got a glove on it. So I can make it look more like a wristband. So reluctant to start chopping this one because this is an old model. But there we go. Nice chunk of glue on there. Then a nice big chopper on his hand. Can't go wrong with a big chopper, can you? That sounds wrong, but it's true. When it comes to arcs, you can't go wrong with a big chopper. That might have to be pinned. So we have the arc singer. We have the drummer, we have the bassist, and we have the guitar player. Hurrah, hurrah, who bloody rah. So next, let's start working on the stage. Now, although the electronics aren't right, as long as I can slot them in afterwards, I'm going to be okay. But I do need to make sure I've got the right measurements and things. So let's put some of the bits and bobs that I've pulled out just to try and help. Which is some scenery bits. Quite a lot of scenery bits actually. I didn't realise I pulled this many out. There. To get rid of that hand. Right, so we know basically the base size, which is not the one we want to use because that's the one where all the buttons go. And that's the edge pieces. I'm missing some edge pieces, and that is not good. But we have the base. We have the base. And we have the front. So we have a rough idea of how big the... Well, we don't have a rough idea at all. We have an exact idea of how big the Bluetooth speaker system's going to be. The Northern Scold! Hello, Northern Scold! How's you? Long time, mate. Been a while since you've been in. Hope you're doing well. Right, so move stuff out of the way now, because now we've got to start looking at the stage, and the stage area doesn't necessarily go together as easy as you think. So Arky boys, go back there for a minute, and move some paints out of the way so you can go back there for a minute. Pick all these up. Move them temporarily to one side. I may need to go get more of these. I am certainly not looking forward to having to try and cut them up with snips. So yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I mean, stress and general life is never going away, so that's always going to be there. So let's put... Right, we have that side of the stage, but I don't want to use that side of the stage. I actually want to use that side of it. So we move stuff out of the way so I can slide this onto the desk in some manner. And I hope it doesn't catch too much stuff. Let's move the camera a bit so we can actually see what I'm doing. So this needs to come all the way up to at least there, which means that must be able to fit behind it there. And that's when I try and find the big old blob of blue tack. There it is. And when I say a big old blob, I mean a big old slab of blue tack or white tack or whatever you want to call it, stuff to stick things down. Now this is the one I've been using for the electronics, which again I'm still not happy that I've got to go through all them again. So we've got a nice big block here, attach that to there, poke that through there, so those are all in the right place. See, there we go. And then we just try our best to get a big old blob of blue tack there to hold it, so that when I put it there, it is the right size. How did the soldering of the lights go? Well, just while I make sure that's holding in place, I'll show you how the soldering of the lights went. We have that board and we have this board, but I think this needs reconnecting, and I'm going to have to go voltmeter check all these because something isn't working. Something's not working, so when that does go into there, and obviously that ends up going at the back of it, I managed to get, I think it was about 4 or 5 of these red lights to light up earlier, and then that was it, no more. So it's kind of working. I just need to resolder some of these connections and then check all of these. No worries, Twisted. You have a good meal, mate. So yeah, I've got to check all these now. I figured out that the power was loose, so I redid that, and the power is not loose anymore. The Bluetooth speaker lights up. The Bluetooth connection, sorry, lights up. I think it might be something to do with these connectors, but I'm not sure. Which is why I now have a voltage meter, and I'm going to have to go check them all one by bloody one. Every connection, one by bloody one. But yes, I've got all the soldering done. I just think I've fucked it up. Not good, not good. Okay, so that's the starting area that we're going to need to go off. But it can't be that low down, because in front of that I need to have the singer. So he's going to need something else to stand on that's going to be slightly higher, because he's going to have to go there. And obviously I'm going to want the lights to be able to be seen behind him. But at the same time, I want the drummer up higher than this. So I'm going to have to build something back here, because he can't go where the buttons go. Which is irritating, very irritating. But he can't go where the buttons go. I'm also going to have to build up some sections on top here for guitarist 1, and then the same thing over on this side for guitarist 2. And then build something up back here much taller than this actual thing, but not getting in the way of buttons. So I'm going to have to see how tall things like. So I don't have to make it too tall. I can use things like this at the back, and then a few of these things at the sides. Just to kind of balance it out a bit and fill it in. So once that's gone higher, so I'm going to need something. I'm going to have to glue something down. No worries, Lee. You have a good night, mate. Thank you very much for coming in. I'm going to have to glue something down underneath here. Now I've got a feeling it's going to end up being foam core. because it's about the same depth ish, give or take. I might have to like scrape off a few skulls off one side just to make it work. And also I could do with it actually being the right length. So if that goes all the way to there, is there enough for another square there? Yes, if I can find a broken square. And I only seem to have one broken square. I'm going to have to go get my bits box. Already, I'm going to have to go get my bits box. Ah, happy days, eh? Happy days. Here it is, my scenery bits box. Dun, 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 dun. See, that gets... That'll do it. So I need to... shave off this skull so it'll sit flush. And then attach that to it somehow. Now this bit looks like it should be clipped off, but I could really do with taking that entire piece off. Oh wow, that snapped really cool. That was nice. So that should now be butting up to against there and giving them a nice front section. Ooh, that worked far easier than I was expecting it to. I like it when that happens. Yeah, I know, Norman, there's a lot there, isn't there? There's a lot of soldering. Now you can realise why it was doing me. I didn't. Especially when I went to try and test it and it just didn't work. Just, nope. I can just see it now in its nice little I can't move and do anything case but going that's what I imagine it was doing to me. So we need to scrape off a fair old amount of this paint, because obviously I've base coated it now. Well, I base coated it years ago, but I need somewhere for it to connect. I mean, I could just use super glue. But part of me saying, no, don't use super glue. So that gives me the front of the stage where the singer's going to be stood. Okay, so now I can move that because I have a rough idea now. And do a super glue or do a tri-plastic glue in? I mean, I could just load it up with plastic glue and just stick it down and hope it sticks. Essentially just do loads of the bloody stuff. And then hope that sticks. Part of me is feeling hot glue might be the better option. Especially when I've got things like that I've got to now sand down. Never can remember where I put it. Where have I put my file? Where have I put my file? I had it here like 10 seconds ago. Well, maybe a bit longer than 10 seconds, but you get the point. It wasn't exactly like it was just here for no reason and disappeared, because I don't like using knives. Not to do this bit. Especially these ones, because they scrape. They're not quite good enough, really. And they make way too much horrible noises. Way too many horrible noises. I've got to get back onto my Terminators yet as well, haven't I? Ah. Well, Lee's gone for his something to eat, and Twister's gone for something to eat. I'm assuming some other people have gone for snacks and drinks and stuff as well. That's a good idea, actually. Snacks and drinks are always a good idea. So, is there anyone who is watching who is willing to join my Discord and help me with electronics? Also, is there anyone who's good at animations? Because if you can do animations, I may have a project for you. Now, you won't be the only person in the project. There will be 3 of us. Because obviously I'm doing the vocals, Almoth's doing the music, and if you're doing the animation, then you're doing the animation. See how it works? I just need enough to make contact. With the actual surface. Now, this is very dangerous doing it this way. I am quite literally just running a blade along it as quickly and as recklessly as I possibly can to clear off paint. What I probably should have done is run it through the bio strip. That might have been the better idea. In this case, glue, 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 glue. Glue, 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 glue. Take off the paint at the end. And glue along there as well. Oh, this stuff smells like nail polish remover. And then pop that on there. And hopefully pressure is going to help it stay down. No, pressure is not going to help it stay down. This is going to require super glue, which I do have. I do have. Or at least I thought I had. I do have. It is glued to an arc, but I do have it. Let's get a needle to clean this out, just to make sure it does work properly. And this is an old airbrush needle, in case anyone's thinking, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing that with a brand new. No, this is an old airbrush needle that came with that Evolution that doesn't work. Lots of super glue. Now I do not have super glue activator, as a lot of you have probably noticed already. You're thinking, lads, you could really do some super glue activator. Yeah, I know, but I don't have any, so that's going to make it a bit difficult. Now underneath, that's not the underneath. That's the underneath. So I need something that's going to raise that up to there. But steadily raise it up to there, not just slap it up there as a random amount. I need it to be steadily on there. And I just realised I've been putting that on the wrong way around. Yes, there is a right and a wrong way to put this. So that needs to be able to sit just a little bit higher, so it's level with that is where it needs to sit. Now do I build a sprue frame, and then build it out from that, or do I put something inconsequential under it, so foam core things, something I can sit down and just plonk underneath it, and it's not going to make that much of a difference because no one's ever going to see it. The problem is if I do that with all the plastic glue and everything else that's coming along with it, it may corrode. It might corrode. But I'm going to go see if I've got some foam bits that are big enough. Which are all in this room behind me. Oh, that was a freaking go, wasn't it? And on this back. I have bag of all sorts. Let's just put it that way. I have a bag of all sorts. Oh, see, that looks like it's almost the right size. I'm going to need PVA to glue this down. I've got anything else in it? I've got anything that's actually better. Oh, look at that. Look at that nice bit of... Yeah, that's going to work nicely, that, isn't it? And I can super glue that right there. So if I glue that down and then pop the 1, 2, 3 blocks on to hold it down, that should work. Where's that glue gone? Honestly, I'm putting quite a lot of glue down on this. I do need it to hold. I do need to make sure it is staying put. So line that up right, and then grab the 1, 2, 3 blocks. Right. They're going to hold that down. So just to make sure that I am going to be getting this in the right-ish place. I'm going to move them close enough so that I can stick that to it, and then just move it up to the edge where I need it to be, which is going to be slap bang there. Well, that can work, didn't it? That was good. There we go, that's better. Rightio, so we need now... It is, sprue glue is absolutely awesome for stuff like this, but I don't have any Tamiya extra thin. So making sprue goo isn't actually that easy for me at the moment. So now let's start building up the rigging. Where's the other side? There it is. So each one of them is going to need a small amount of sprue on the bottom just to raise it up that little bit of extra. Are you telling me in all this I don't have a single piece of straight sprue that I can just flip off? There we go. So just a little bit of sprue like that, go underneath it just to raise it up. There we go. So we're going to take that nice chunk out of there. And obviously clean off the knobbly bits. I'm just going to clean up that connection as well, and that gives me a nice flattish bar. Which hopefully means I can glue it to the bottom of that, and that will hopefully raise it up enough. No, still not quite. I need like double. I forgot I've got girders. I've got girders. That will raise it up high enough. It's not quite big enough. Do I have another girder? I should have another girder. What's making it all skew wifted? I'm not sure, but I am going to have to take that girder off at the edge. Kaboom! That just hit my keyboard. How fun is that? So, glue along the edge. If I've got any glue left in this one, that is. Yeah, I have. That's good. And then glue it underneath there just to give it a riser. And then that should now. Yeah, that meets up with there a little bit better. Then I need to find another one. Something else. So I should have another one in that big tub next to it, the big box next. Wrong box. That's the box with the stuff that's currently available for specific arc stage thingies. Whereas this is just generic scenery box with lots of weird parts of things in. I just need to find another girder. I just need to find another girder. There we go. Another girder. I mean, I do have other bits that are gonna go that can be useful for later on, but at the moment I need girders. And yes, Sparkles is going absolutely nuts at me with the amount of crap that I've got sat around my desk at the moment. As you would expect, because I've got a lot of crap around there. So if that's the front of it, I need that to go on there, which means it needs to get clipped off just behind those two. Boing! Gone. Lots of glue across the top of the sprue. Well, girder, but still, it's made out of sprue. It's the same plastic. Ooh, that was my stomach. I was hungry. And that one goes in about there. It's going to have to come in at much more of an angle, as is that one. And then it's going to need stuff going in between it as well, which will probably end up being some kind of putty or milliput, you know, some kind of filler. Well, actually getting it lined up and on is going to be a bit of a pain, I think. I might end up having to cut down some of these edge bits just to get it to go through. So let's just move you for a second, and both of you, because now I can't do it with a clippers. I've got to score through. And cut it off. I could do with it. My hacksaw blade would probably become useful at this point, but I don't know where it is. So I'm going to have to do just short, shallow cuts. Get it on through there. But I can't go too far because I need to be able to slot the Bluetooth speaker back in, or at least a casing for it, once I've sorted out the electronics. I don't intend to be sitting here with a voltmeter all night though, so don't worry, I'll be doing that in my free time. And I'll be going through the voltmeter, checking all the connections. As I said, I did manage to get some lights come on, so I might give it another quick go just while I'm waiting for stuff to dry on here. Or if I get to the point where I'm so fed up trying to cut this up that it's just like, no, I'd rather sit there and do electronics. Oh shit, that didn't work. You do that, and now you're locked. Thank you. What I don't want to do is accidentally cut my bloody fingers off. I mean, I've never cut my fingers off, but I have certainly cut into my fingers with these knives. And they hurt. They do. They fucking hurt. It's like paper cuts. Nothing too big, nothing too drastic, but just enough to make you go, ah! What the fuck? You know, one of them type of hurts. Not stupidly painful, but painful enough that you don't want to do it again. And now we come in at this side. I've got that song stuck in my head. It's not a bad thing. I just wish I could do animations. How cool would that be if I could animate these four? Just come in and that be the intro. Get the voltmeter out. Yeah, I don't know how to use them properly. That's the problem. I know if it comes up 0, then it's not getting anything. That's bad. I know that. But everything seems to be fluctuating at the minute. And I've got to check all the LEDs. Although I think I just need to... If I was to do the soldering bit first, that I think I need to do, that might actually resolve some of the issues. But as I'm not 100% sure, I do want the voltmeter just to check. But I was checking earlier when it got brought round to me, and it was showing powers going through. It just wasn't being nice to me about it. So I may have to get my friend round who was the one who brought it and get him to go, right, look, check all that for us, man. Same guy, his ramrod that I brought it all off. Well, I borrowed it off. He was kind enough to lend me. I think it's actually his daughter's boyfriend's. But I've met him, so he knows who I am. He's okay with lending me stuff, knowing what I'm going to use it for. Because he knows I'm not using it for anything daft. I'm using it for modelling stuff and good things. I'm not trying to make bombs or anything. Which the thought did go through his head. Am I going to use this to try and do explosives? And when the answer came back as no, he's trying to make a Bluetooth speaker. He went, yeah, okay, I'll lend it to him. And thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Could have just said that and I might still be making bombs. But hey, he told him I'm not, so good on him. Right, so fingers crossed now. This is gonna overlap better. That's pretty much right up to there now. Yeah, that's going to work better, as is that. No, you can't actually see properly from there, so let's move it down a bit. So that's what I'm looking to see as the two side pieces there, and then obviously the speakers are going to come through. What word were you trying to type, Knob? Tell you what, send it through Discord. Discord will let you type it. Right, so that's the start of that. So that's him there. Now I need to build something up for him to go there. So whatever it is has now got to be above this. And this is where these things come in. Because these are obviously tall enough to be connected. Here. And we'll make it above that, so when I put a platform above it, or at least a platform above the speaker, It's not big enough unless I do it just a single. If I just do it as a single, that might work better. So let's see if I can recreate what I did a minute ago, which is snap it very neatly along the creased line. Oh, look at that. So then that can go in on there, and then that can go above that, which means I need another one, or I need something else to go in between to fill in that. This is going to take a lot more planning than I realised. So I'm going to have to get as many of these nice flattish ones as I can. So there's another one. And there's another one. So then I can at least go flat, flat, and then where's he gone? There he is. Shave that bit off and have them going right to it, and then that's raised up high enough on there for a bassist. And if I repeat the process on that side, I've got somewhere for so that means now shaving all that section off. Oh, fun. Now this is where I come dangerously close to actually chop. No, let's use snips, lads. Use snips. Don't use bloody Stanley knives or craft knives. Just use snips. Snip off the bulk of it. You can always file it down and trim it down later. See, once you've done that, that makes it easier to actually scrape it away. Don't get me wrong, if I had my file and... Oh, there it is. You absolutely blind muppet. That makes it easier. That does, it just makes it easier to have a file. Did you send it to Discord? What word is it? I'm curious. I forget Discord doesn't ping up with anything on this, so... No, not put it through yet. Okay. Ah, no, there it is. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, you don't let you put stuff like that on there, do they? Sharp implement for cutting is what Northern was telling me to use. Something similar to the craft thing, but a heatable one. No, I needed the two flat ones, didn't I? Oh, where's the other? Oh, there it is. Nope. See, I've got one flat one on that side. Oh, there we go. See, I'm not too bothered about having a little skull in the middle because his base will sit over that. It's just I need the nice little way of connecting these. And the little squares are all raised up. Lovely. So that means sandpaper will probably... Ow! I think I'm sat on some sandpaper. No, it's there. I know that's an odd sentence. I think I'm sat on some sandpaper. But it was genuine, it was true. I thought I was. And then I spotted it on the floor and I realised I wasn't. I wasn't sat on sandpaper. I'm sat on books. Including the Sparkles and Oak book, for those of you who remember what I was doing on Thursdays. I'm still trying to work through the character sheets. It's just been a little bit more difficult than I originally intended. There we go. And again, get the glue that I'm running out. I'm going to have to pay a visit to Games Workshop, I think. Oh no, I know what I'll do. I think I'll go to Element Games. I'm going to see if Sparkles will let me go to Element Games and go, I need to pick up the stuff that I can't get from Combat Patrol anymore because I'm not doing it. So I need to finish off my World Eaters army. And that's going to require quite a lot of work. It at least takes another 2 boxes of Khorne Berserkers. And then extra stuff to fill it in. Marlafine, things like that. So, are you even considering sticking? Or are you going to be another one that demands super? You're going to be another one that demands super glue, aren't you? I'll tell you what. There's your super glue, you little fucker. There's the other half of it. It'll bloody well stick. While I find the other halves that I wanted to do. Again, those need a lot of sanding down. Particularly in the middle, because you've got that entire raised section there. And that entire square in the middle needs going. You went for the first time the other day to Element Games? You see where I am? I'm similar to you. It's like right at the other side of bloody Manchester, so it's into the city centre, then out the other side to go out to Stockport. And because I've never been, it's going to be a bit of a pain to find. I've got a feeling it's going to be a pain in the ass to find for me. Now, I've got a cousin who I could probably phone and go, do us a favour, meet us in Stockport, take us. And he probably would, but I don't particularly like asking, which is my own fault. That's all on me. I don't like asking that type of stuff, so it becomes difficult to get there. So it's gonna have to be a bus ride into town or into the city centre, and then a bus ride back out to go to see Element Games. But if I can go, that'll be awesome. And sandy down the other side. I was hoping to go Saturday, but I've got to ask Sparkles first because I don't know if Sparkles has got any plans for us. There are a couple of things I need to pick up. It's whether or not she says I can pick them up, because there's a few things, as I said. At least 2 boxes of Khorne Berserkers and a few other things as well, including glue. And maybe a couple of paints as well. So I could be in the range of spending about 150, 200 quid while I'm in there. Which is obviously a fair chunk of money. Especially when I'm saving up to get married in October. Buzzard, I still need to double check with Sparkles. We believe we've forgot to invite you, at least to the evening do. I don't know if you wanted to be involved in it. I wanted to come, but I'm speaking to Sparkles regarding people we can invite to the evening do. And I've thrown your name into the hat. Well, I don't know if you wanted it or not. But it's there now. It was more wondering whether or not you'd be able to come down with the missus and, you know, transport, logistics and all that lot. It makes a difference. So that's the two stands that I'm hopefully going to be using for the guitarists. Now at the back of this, I need to be putting something nice and big. Something nice and big to go on the back of it. So I've got the two beams to go there. I have at least one section to go here, which means I will have to cut it at an angle so that this will connect up with this at whatever slight angle it needs to go at. And I need to get another one, which I think I will use the doors to go on that side. Which means more snippy around this bit. More snippy. So yeah, I was hoping to go a couple of weeks ago actually. Because I was hoping to meet Jill Paints Minis while she's there. And maybe another couple of people as well while I'm at it. And us small YouTubers, we do know about each other. We just never get a chance to meet. Or very, very rarely do we get a chance to meet. There's the possibility of a couple of larger YouTubers coming over. So tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm just going to go for a small break. It's all Northern's fault, in case anyone's wondering. Because I've got to go and nip upstairs now and go, Sparkles, what are we doing tomorrow? And if she goes nothing, it's like, can I have some money to go buy the stuff that I want to get from the Combat Patrol magazine, because I'm not getting the Combat Patrol magazine anymore, and a few extra things. And that's when she's going to ask me the price, and I'm going to give her a rough ballpark. And she's either going to tell me to get them out, but much more polite than that, because Sparkle is a very polite person, or she's going to say yeah. Now she's not popped up on anything in, so she's not in portrait mode, and she's not in full screen mode, as I can see, which is good. Have I missed anything? No, I haven't missed anything from there, but I do wish to change that to live chat, please. Okay, so I'm gonna just go for my usual small style break, so nicotine top up, etc. I love I've already got a drink over there. I don't need a drink, but I do need a nicotine top up, and I do need to go speak to Sparkles. So what should we have on for music? There it is. It is the one. It is the one. It is the one. And I'll be back soon. Thank you very much for holding on.
But the signal's clear. Distant signals in the sky tonight. Every heartbeat screaming back in time. We were reckless, we were never blind. The fire we lit will never die. Every night was a crowded show. Flooded lights in the undertow. Every face was a mirrored flame. Every voice still calls my name. We were sparks against the dark. Every lyric lit a mark. Still I feel it, still it stays. Calling through the static haze. Distant signals in the sky tonight. Every heartbeat screaming back in time. We were reckless, we were never blind. The fire we lit will never die. Static fades, but the sound remains. Every song still runs in our veins. We'll never fade, we'll never fold. These echoes never get old. Distant signals in the sky tonight. Every heartbeat screaming back in time. We were reckless, we were never blind. The fire we lit will never die. The fire we lit will never die. Another night under suburban skies. Dreams too big for a town this size. Every street feels like a cage. Every mile is another stage. We're burning faster than the ground. Every silence makes a sound. Chasing signals out of sight. Runaway hearts into the night. Like runaway satellites we fly. Breaking free from the weight of time. Every orbit pulls us high. We were made to cross the line.
bum, bum, ba dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully I wasn't gone too long. I spoke to Sparkles. Bit of a not. I got a positive response, which is good. But I also had an epiphany, and it hurt. And that epiphany is, I can't actually do this until I've done this. So let's just remove all them now, because they should nice be stuck. And just pop them on there for a second, so I know that that's them. And move this. Right, I can't do all this until I've done this. I've come to that conclusion because I can't glue any. I need to glue stuff to this on the sides, and I also need to make sure I'm not blocking off any buttonholes or things like that. So at least I thought I had a brainwave-ish. So I can't actually do anything more on the stage until I've done more on the rest of the stuff. So that being the case, I'm just going to move this all out of the way for a minute, because this is all stuff to be helped. I mean, even a couple of Necromunda barricades, these all go on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try vault testing a few of the bits while I have a bit of a chat with Northern. Because as I said, not 100% of what I asked for, but what time do you want to go tomorrow, mate? What time shall we go to Element Games tomorrow? That's a good question, isn't it? And while we're figuring that out, I'm going to show you my problems that I've been having with circuitries. Now, I'm not attaching the speakers yet, because that's a whole different kettle of fish that I don't even want to get involved in. Not right now, anyway. I do, however, need my USB power supply. And my extension lead. See, I'm probably good anytime from about 12, 1 o'clock for me setting off from here. It all depends how long Element Games is open for and how long it's going to take us to meet up and get there. So, depending where you wish to meet, now I know you're coming from one side. I'm kind of halfway if you're going round the edge, and then you can carry on round the ring road to come off near Stockport. And there are lots and lots of places to meet. So if we're looking about, what, 12, half 12 to meet up, we just need to find out where. Now, obviously, I don't want to put where right up there on the screen for everybody on YouTube to go, oh, so they must both live near, and people find out where we live. Or at least to the point where they can come and look around the streets. Pick me up from near me, okay. Let's see, where's my nearest town centre? Right, I'll send you a message on Discord. Right, so so if he asks you that question, you should be able to answer me. Right, where's the voltmeter? There's the voltmeter. Where's my power supply? You're not my power supply, you're my cat. So hopefully that's just figured out where me and where me and Northern are meeting up now. At about 12, half 12. Just finalise that time so that I can let Sparkles know to drop kick me out of bed. Because she's gonna need to, let's face it. 12:30? Yep, that's fine. That is fine, mate. 12:30 at that place that I've just mentioned. Perfect. Right. So it looks like me and Northern are heading to Element Games tomorrow. We should be there in the afternoon if anyone wishes to come and meet up. Right. There we go. So you can see I do have flashing power coming through. That's the Bluetooth adapter. So that's working. Okay. Now this is the issue I have. Now as I'm putting this in, you'll see. Because if I get it out, see those light up. But when I put it in fully, oh no, they are. Yeah, see, that's definitely a loose connection. Because as I wiggle it, I'm losing lights. See? But out of all of it, that's what, 2. I've got 6 lights coming on out of all of that. So leave the power running through it for now. And I know it is that row there. But now I have to go through all the bloody other things. So stick it onto the voltage thingamabob. Get my positive and my negative. And flip this around just so I know which side the positive and the negative is. So positive is this side. So I'm definitely getting readings off that. And off that. And off that. And off that. See, I'm getting readings off these things. Around about the same. It seems to jump up and down, but ends up round about the 20 mark. So, yeah, cool. So I'm definitely getting power through these. As you can see, it's definitely getting power through them. And then of course you've got is that one of the resistors? No, it's still coming through. Not much though. But I'm still getting readings. So something's definitely working on this board. Oh no, 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 no. See, there we go. We have one there. Oh no, there we go. Just to prove me wrong. 0.1. Yeah, 1.0 again. No, that's not getting anything. Why is that not getting nothing? So that one may be wrong. Just that little resistor there. So by the looks of it, it's not the LEDs, it's the resistors. Oh, okay. That helps. So by the looks of it, it's actually these little blue ones here, all the way along. But they're not working. But I want to see what happens if I try and reseat this. If I can reseat this, see if that helps. Which of course is a whole different kettle of bloody fish. Where did we put the solder in? That's where I put my soldering irons. That's where I put my soldering irons. So now that I've got plans for tomorrow, I need to be up early. So I'm just going to quickly try and see if this helps. If I can reseat, because there's a couple of these pins here that it doesn't look like it's connected properly. And I'm going to try that then. See if I can reseat that and see if that helps. I'm just going to find the big map. Map. Print screen. No, close that. I wanted print screen there, please. Hopefully this will now work. Nope. I'm just gonna have to yeah, that one. I can't even print a screen off. That's good, isn't it? That's good. So now let's hope this is nice and working. There it is. I was wondering where am I? That's not quite hot enough yet. But we will do this. Just to try and see if it, as soon as it does that, it's hot enough. There we go. Right, so on here, I want to try and see. I don't want. I'm a bit reluctant because the chip's on the board now. I'll try and just melt those down so they are actually making a full connection. Which sometimes requires a little bit more solder on it than it does. So just going off the rough time scale that me and Northern are meeting up, we should be there for about 1:30. So if anyone is in the area and does wish to go to Element Games, even if it's just to come in and say hello, I wanted to meet you, that's fine. And I'm not saying I'm big enough for people to come and say, can I have a picture? But if you do come in and say, can I have a picture, then fair enough. Right, so that's nice, and hopefully that means that this connection's now going to work a little bit better. Or just not at all. Oh no, there we go. Right, so that's actually a stable connection now. Kind of. So now that that's actually going through, can I connect a speaker to it? Let's get the speakers out now. Oh, why is that gone out? I moved one. I moved one board. So now that I know I'm definitely getting power through here. Let's see if we can turn the light down so it actually does show up. There you go. So you can actually see the red lights that are coming through now. So if we get one of these and pop that in there. Is it this connection as well? I'm going to put my light back up now so we can bloody see. What's so funny? Are you laughing at me saying I'm not big enough for people to come and say hello to, but if you want to, you can do? Is that what you're laughing at? It's not very nice, is it? Although it is funny, I know. I'm a little YouTuber and I'm not there. Come and see me, say hello if you care. So there's something definitely going on somewhere with a bit of power. I'm losing power somewhere, right? So that's holding, oh, that was holding power in there. There we go. We have one Bluetooth thing, which is good. I mean, I could probably do with turning the Bluetooth adapter off for now and just trying it through the jack. Yeah, I know. This is why I've been having problems. This is one of the major problems I've been having. Is like sometimes it decides it wants to work in certain parts, and other times it decides it doesn't want to work in other parts. So let's see what happens when I plug this into here. And now let's see if I can. Right, so that's definitely a bit of pressure that needs to be on. Oh, I just turned it off. Yeah, I did. Dumbass. I just turned it off with the power button. It does have a power button as well. Come on. Oh, really? Really? I mean, I can hear clicking from the speaker as well. It's just, for some reason, this just doesn't... It's not working. See, it's not working now. See, I believed it would work from the first place. It's just not. See, it could just be a loose wire in the actual ribbon connection. Right, there, no. Oh, you are joking me. Right, find the other end of that. Plug it into my phone. Turn Bluetooth off. Get rid of my YouTube. And bring up music. Let's put that back on there. And we're just going to play that constantly. Until we get some kind of... Don't tell me I've got to have Bluetooth on to get power. So let's turn the volume up just so I know it's definitely working for volume. I mean, I can hear it out of the speaker. Probably not the best idea to try and do this while power's running through it. See, that was in. And that was running. So I'm getting lights flashing. But no sound, no sound. Maybe it needs both speakers in. As you can see, I'm getting some power through, but not what I was. No, that's not working, is it? That is just not working. I'm not getting. I've got music running through it right now. Whatever that's supposed to do isn't doing anything. This has now been reseated, so it should be okay now. It's now this side that needs quite possibly taking off and re-putting back on. Or I need to clip these wires back in properly. So as you can see, this is the issues that I'm having. It's not something I'm going to resolve anytime quickly. So unplug for now, just because it's taking up power. Turned off the voltage meter. Yep. So that is the issues I'm having with the sound effects, which I can't do anything regarding the big thing because, well, it's a pain. And I can't put it together until I've done this bit. So I've got to do this bit so I'll put the box together, and then I'll put the box together to... See, even that felt like it had a little bit of play in it then. So let's try first of all, I'm moving that out of the way because we don't want to damage that. It's not mine, and I don't fancy paying for it to be replaced because those are expensive. It's not like a soldering iron, which is about 15-20 quid. Those things, the voltage connectors are bloody expensive. So I'm just going to try putting a little bit more solder on there, just to make sure that there is definitely a connection on the speakers. As I said, I can hear them in, but there's nothing actually coming out. And then I'm gonna try and make sure I've got a connection on there properly, if I can, and a connection on there properly, and a connection on there properly, and a connection on there properly. So hopefully that should shore up that connection. They look like they're right. Right, so there's the loose connections I thought I had. Which again is this one. Yeah, power. Power goes in first. And now we try to see what we get lighting through this. Now that I've so once it's in, it's reasonably well lit, that now. In fact, no, that's still loose with the wires. Yeah, see, it's the wires I've got to grab hold of to get them working. Okay, that's a bit weird, but oh, you do you, mate. You do you. Let's try these in again. See if I can get sound through it, then I can go through the LEDs later. I just want to make sure that, well, first of all, let's turn Bluetooth off and see if that, does it have to run through Bluetooth? Does Bluetooth have to be on? I think it's this ribbon connection, you know. Just going through this bit, I think it's the actual ribbon connection, or the wired connection here. See, I'm not actually moving anything apart from the wires now. Yeah, this isn't happening. I'm going to unplug the soldering iron, and then it looks like this weekend, because tomorrow I'm now going to Element Games. Thank you, Northern. So it looks like this weekend I'm going to be sat here with my voltage meter, well, the voltage meter that I borrowed, and I'm going to be working on a lot of circuit board stuff. Oh, the joys. The happy, happy joys. The happy, happy joys. So I'm going to call it for this evening. We have all 4 band members. We just need to start doing the electronics so we can start building the stage. And hopefully that's going to work. Fingers crossed. I'm going to see if I can find another one of them connector leads somewhere. And see if I can see if it is that's not working. Hopefully it's just a ribbon connection and I don't have to go rewire everything up again. And buy a crap load of... I mean, it's only a £25 set, but still it's a £25 set. So thank you very much for everybody who's come to see me this evening. Northern, I will see you tomorrow, 12:30, at the place that we've arranged. I'll try and make it as blatantly obvious as I can that I'm me. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall anyway, and usually stand out a little bit, but just in case, we'll go there. I will have a connection to Discord if you wish to message me while you're on the way, so you can tell me where. I can tell you where I'm gonna meet you and blah blah blah. Until tomorrow, though, thank you everybody who will come and see me tomorrow in Element Games. I do have some things to pick up though. So I'm at least taking some money with me, which is good, so I can buy stuff. Until that, though, I will see you all on Monday, which will probably carry on with this in some form. Or we will start whatever I pick up on from Element Games tomorrow. We shall see, because it's models and musings on Monday. Either way, please drive safe, everyone, and have a good weekend. See you later.